Casey's biggest hits.
3 years ago this week, one of the biggest hits in the USA was Your Song, by a singer who almost gave up on music after a London agent told him he didn't have a voice. It's his lack of a voice that eventually made him a superstar. I'll have details and that big hit after this.
Casey's Top 40.
Up a very fast 7 notches to number 8 is a native of North London who now lives in Beverly Hills. He's Rod Stewart, and his song is My Heart Can't Tell You No. Former soccer player, former gravedigger, former street singer, and current rock star, Rod Stewart at number 8 this week with My Heart Can't Tell You No. I'm Casey Kasem, and the countdown doesn't stop till we get to the top.
Casey's Top 40.
I'm Casey Kasem. These are the hottest hits across the USA. And falling 9 notches to number 21 is an international superstar who recently joined a host of other superstars in a benefit concert to aid the Kurdish refugees. Here's Rod Stewart with Rhythm of My Heart.
Casey's Top 40.
I'm Casey Kasem, once a week on Casey's Top 40, and you know how your favorite songs are doing on the national chart. Well, now we're up to the latest hit for a British superstar who regularly spends $5,000 for a haircut. Over the years, a lot of attention has been paid to this star's hair. When he first dyed it blonde over a decade ago, it was hot news in the world of rock and roll. And when he let his hair get kind of spiky back in the 70s, that was news too. Rod Stewart had spawned the famous pineapple head look, a look imitated by a lot of other British rock stars. Since the 80s, Rod's hair has been a bit tamer, but he still pays a lot of attention to it. And like a lot of men, it took Rod quite a while to find just the right hairstylist. The one he finally discovered back in the early 80s was a young up-and-comer who had a small salon in London. And that's who still cares for Rod's hair today, cutting it, styling it, and dyeing it. But these days, Rod lives in L.A., so believe it or not, whenever he needs his hair done, either he flies specially to London, or he flies his hairstylist to wherever he is in the world, be it New York, Tokyo, Rio, or Melbourne. What with the cost of airfare, accommodations, and meals, that comes to a cool $5,000 per haircut, over $50,000 per year, just for hair. This week, the very well-coiffed Rod Stewart is working hard to make the money to pay for all that luxury as his 29th Top 40 hit edges up a notch to number 12 on Casey's Top 40.
American Top 40.
AT40 to number 1. Rod Stewart has his ideas about the whole unplugged phenomenon. He says, people seem to love those raw albums. It sorts the men out from the boys. Rod's first single from his unplugged and seeded CD is right here at number 15.
Casey's biggest hits.
3 years ago this week, one of the biggest hits in the USA was a song in which Rod Stewart joined with the Temptations to pay tribute to one of the most influential sounds of the rock era. And it's appropriate that these two great acts get together on this song because Rod Stewart says his earliest influences were the great soul singers of America. Singers he tried to imitate as his career grew from street musician to bluesman to rock and roller. And one of the acts he loved most was the Motown group that started hitting back in 1964 with songs like My Girl, and went on to become the most successful male R&B group ever. With one of the biggest hits in the USA 3 years ago this week, here's Rod Stewart along with his mentors, the Temptations, and the Motown song.
There's a soul in the city watching over us tonight.
Casey's biggest hits.
3 years ago this week, one of the biggest hits in the USA was by a singer who almost gave up on music after a London agent told him he didn't have a voice. It's his lack of a voice that eventually made him a superstar. It was back in the 60s, and this would-be singer was trying to find any work he could. He says he remembers going to an agent who did the casting for musicals. The agent told him to sing something. But after a few bars, the agent advised him to give it up. His voice was too rough and gravelly to be taken seriously. Was that agent wrong? It was that rough quality that earned this man a worldwide following and 3 decades of success. 3 years ago this week, Rod Stewart had one of the biggest hits in the USA. Here's Your Song. From 3 years ago, Rod Stewart and Your Song. I'm Casey Kasem.
Casey's Coast to Coast.